organizations start to change. Of all the businesses that I've kind of read about and ideas that I've put forward, this for me is the most incredible book. His name is Frederick Deluy. He wrote this 8 years ago, and it's based on his research of quite a few different organizations, in-depth research of 3 years, where he went into every organization, and he tried to understand what made companies that were significantly more successful different to the companies we know of today. And I'll take you through a few of his examples. He uses this model. He talks about soulful organizations. Now, firstly, the idea of a soul in an organization, I think, is just a wonderful concept. I'm going to talk you through each of the different stages, and then as I do this, I would like you to think about where is your organization right now. So firstly, we have what we determine as the mafia state, essentially, red organizations. And when I'm talking about this, they're not necessarily wrong. They're right for a time and a place. But not where we would want to be right now. It's not quite a place you want to work in. But these organizations came about because we were in a world of chaos. We were in a world where you had to survive. And in order to survive, we needed power, and we needed to understand command authority and division of labor. Each person has a job. Each person knows who they report to. They know what happens if they don't do their job well. And that's about fear. So we stick to the rules, otherwise we understand the consequences very well. Okay, hopefully that is not where you recognize your organization. So next came yellow organizations. Once we had understood the command and control situation and how to put forward very stable kind of teams that could fight their way through, we started to need to scale it. And so then comes things like the Catholic Church, the military, schools, government, where we can take this concept and make it much more applicable to many, many people. It's still very top-down control. We have a very clear understanding of how it works. We live by these rules. But it's not as fear-driven anymore. We simply adhere to the processes and rules of these kinds of organizations. And the thing that it feels a little bit more like is quite stable. You know, we always understand how this will run. These are very long-term organizations. Then came orange organizations. Now, orange organizations are all about profit, about making money, about beating your competition, about being the best. Management by objectives. We put down a strategy, we put down a goal, we drive for that goal, we make sure we achieve it. And we do it almost at any cost. So if you aren't actually able to meet your goals, then you're probably kind of moved out of the team, and we make sure that we bring in the highest performing people and reward those people at all times. Starting to sound a little bit more familiar. Multinational companies, these would be quite familiar places to work. Often seen as a machine. You know, we incentivize in a very mechanistic way. It's not necessarily about the human, it's about the machine working effectively. Green organizations, this is a bit more about the family. So here it's still a pyramid structure, there's still a leader, but here we're much more about collaboration. We're talking to each other, we're engaging each other. We talk about values and what we believe in, and we make sure we live by those values. It's world-centric and socially responsible. We try to be socially responsible in these companies and organizations. We're not driven by social responsibility, but it's a key tenet for us. Some of the companies you may recognize here are Google, Ben & Jerry's, that kind of company. And so lots of focus on your stakeholders. It's one of the issues with this company is to get this kind of engagement, collaboration, decision-making is very slow. So lots of consensus building. And finally, a teal organization. Teal organizations are organizations that are living systems. They exist for their purpose. They work effectively together. They sense and respond to what is around them. They are self-managed. So although there is a leader, don't think there isn't, there is a leader that understands where you're going, but that leader is part of the team and it's self-managing and organizing as it moves together. It's based on a peer relationship or adult-to-adult relationship. So nobody's telling you what to do, when to do it. It's all about a conversation around what we believe we should do and how we could best take this forward. It has a life and direction of its own. Egos are not something that happens in a tier organization. It's about us rather than about the organization's need to proceed with an individual. It's about trust. And I think this last one is my absolute favorite. We don't talk about jobs or job specs anymore. We talk about roles. We talk about where do I take my skills and the things that I can do best and apply it to a place that needs me at that time. Okay, so now